Have you ever gotten a phone call that just felt wrong? Imagine this. You've just moved into your dream home in the quiet countryside. Life is perfect. You and your family are settling in, enjoying the peace, the fresh air, the escape from the city hustle. But then, the phone rings. It's exactly 1:13 a.m. You groggily answer, expecting a wrong number, but there's no voice on the other end. Just a strange, hollow sound, like wind whistling through a broken window, and something else. A faint, rhythmic crunching, like someone walking on dry leaves. You hang up, slightly annoyed, but thinking nothing of it, until it happens again. The next night, same time, 1:13 a.m. The same eerie sounds, wind and footsteps. This is the unsettling reality a family faced after moving near an old, abandoned farmhouse. Every single night, like clockwork, the call would come. At first, they tried to ignore it, unplugging the phone before bed, but a deep sense of unease started to creep into their new home. Curiosity, mixed with a growing dread, got the better of them. Who was calling? And why at that specific time? The farmhouse next door was a local legend. It had been empty for decades, since the 1990s, after the family who lived there vanished without a trace. People in the nearby town whispered stories about strange lights and shadowy figures seen in the windows, but no one ever dared to get too close. The place just had a heavy, sorrowful energy about it. After a week of these phantom calls, the family's nerves were completely frayed. Sleep became impossible. Every creak of the house, every rustle of leaves outside, sent their hearts racing. They decided they had to do something. They had to know where these calls were coming from. So they contacted the police and the phone company, hoping for a logical explanation. Maybe it was a technical glitch, a crossed wire, a cruel prank. The technicians were baffled. Their equipment showed a call coming through to the family's number every night at 1:13 a.m. But the source was impossible. The signal was originating from the landline registered to the abandoned farmhouse next door. A landline that had been officially disconnected and cut off from the grid for over 30 years. There was no power to the house, no active phone line. It simply could not be making calls. The police, though skeptical, agreed to investigate. One evening, 2 officers drove out to the decrepit property. As they approached the farmhouse, a chill hung in the air that had nothing to do with the night's temperature. The house was a skeleton, windows shattered, paint peeling, the front door hanging precariously on a single hinge. It looked like it hadn't been touched by a living soul in decades. Carefully, they stepped inside, flashlights cutting through the thick darkness. Dust lay thick on everything, and the air was musty with the smell of decay and damp earth. In what looked like the old living room, they found it. An ancient, rotary-style telephone, covered in a shroud of cobwebs, sitting on a small, rotting table. Its cord was frayed and severed, a thick layer of dust undisturbed on its surface. As the officers documented the scene, one of them glanced at his watch. It was 1:12 a.m. An unspoken tension filled the room. They stood in silence, listening to the house groan around them. Then, exactly as the clock ticked over to 1:13 a.m., something happened that made the blood run cold in their veins. The old, disconnected, dust-covered telephone began to ring. It was a shrill, piercing sound that cut through the silence of the dead house. At that exact moment, back at the family's home, their phone started ringing too. They stared at it, horrified, knowing what they would hear if they answered. The officers at the farmhouse never touched the ringing phone. They backed out of the house, their professional composure shattered. The official report listed the incident as an unexplained technical anomaly. The family moved out less than a month later, unable to live with the nightly reminder that some things are beyond our understanding. The farmhouse still stands, silent and dark, holding its secret. And some locals say, if you're brave enough to listen on a quiet night, you can still hear the faint sound of a ringing phone that has no business ringing at all. What do you think was happening? Purr, a ghostly echo, a glitch in time, or something else entirely? Let me know your theories in the comments. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow for more strange stories.